Very good morning to all. If you remember, on Tuesday, we started this particular session on presentation skill. To give you a quick brief to all the students, in case if you could not attend that particular class, we discussed about presentation skills. We talked about why presentation skills are so important. And when we talk about presentation, the main purpose of any presentation is to inform, to persuade people, and to educate one. When we talk about a presentation, we should also remember there are certain basic things that we have to always keep in our mind whenever we are presenting. There are certain questions that you should ask to yourself before you present in front of others. You should ask these questions to yourself. To whom am I going to present? What is the importance of my presentation? What is it that I'm going to say? What is it that I'm going to inform? Where am I going to give the presentation? When am I going to give the presentation? Why my presentation is so important? And how can I create that right impact, or how can I create that right emphasis in the mind of the audience? So, as I have stated that when I talk about talking in front of public, this is the common fear, not only in society like kids or even the learners or educators, but also in general. If you talk, people are scared of speaking in front of the crowd or in front of a group. All right, so how can we get rid of nervousness? As I have stated, try to familiarize with the situation, build up the confidence. Don't believe that you're working in isolation. People are known to you and they are going to support you. And even don't look foolish. Develop the level of confidence. Practice can only help you to overcome the fear element. And don't be afraid of consequence, whether it is good or bad. The result can be only in two ways. Either you are successful in delivering the presentation, or you may fail. When you fail, there is another opportunity of learning and you can move ahead. So never ever think about the consequences. As a good speaker, always remember that if you are speaking well, it is going to open the doors. But if you are speaking in a poor way and if your speaking skills are not good, it will certainly close your doors. So if we talk about preparing our presentation, these are the common things. If you remember, we have discussed about the 4 P's: plan, prepare, practice, and present. So similarly, you will see here that the same things are mentioned here, but you need to emphasize, particularly when you are giving a presentation, about audience and also about your body language. So you should focus on your audience, who your audience is, what is the level of understanding they have, what knowledge and information they are having, in front of whom you're going to give the presentation, what is the language that they could understand. And apart from that, yes, your body language matters a lot. So you should also think positively. This is very, very important, because most of the time, if you're overconfident, again, it is going to create problems while giving the presentation. At the same time, similarly, when you are underconfident, when you are having that lack of confidence, again, you cannot give the presentation in a proper way. So therefore, calm down your nerves. Know about the audience. As I said, that this is very, very important. You should know about whom you are going to address, in front of whom you're going to present your presentation. How much knowledge do they have? What is the difference that they are having, particularly related to the culture? What is their age? What is their gender? Because accordingly you have to prepare your presentation, accordingly you have to prepare and focus on your content, right? And then finally, as I have stated, that these are certain things which were discussed when we talk about the technique. ida technique, while writing, while speaking, while presenting, can definitely add more benefit for the presentator, in order to grab the attention, in order to generate interest, in order to create that desire and make the people act according to your thought. So please remember, in order to be a good presenter, you have to develop that proper eye contact should be maintained. You should listen to others, and proper space should be there. As I've stated, if you remember, there was a question that was asked. And while speaking, you should see that everybody is under your purview. That means you can observe everyone, you can see everyone. Now, if I am standing at a place where I cannot see my audience, if I'm standing in front of a podium, or if I'm standing and talking to one single candidate, what about the others? So you should always be worried about your position. You should always think twice and thrice that where I should stand, in what way I should stand, so that I can see everyone, people can listen to me very clearly, and I can have a proper space so that they can see me and I can see them, and we can answer each other's question and even answer in a proper way if there is a question that is asked from the audience. So please remember, eye contact matters a lot. Your facial expressions matter a lot. The gestures that you are creating with your hand, that matters a lot. The posture of your body matters a lot. And the distance, the space that you are going to maintain between you and your audience, that again matters a lot. So if you talk, these are certain inferences. These are the common things that you can understand through the different body languages. These are related to the speaker, these are related to the audience, and then your three important things. Don't ever forget that when you are in front of the audience, your voice should be clearly heard by everyone. That is the reason you should be loud enough. The tone of the voice should be soft so that people should love to hear your voice. And the pace at which you're going to speak again matters a lot. So this was the thing that we have ended with. And then today we are going to talk about visual aids where you can create a lot of impact and emphasis on the reader's mind. So here, when I show you this particular slide, please keep this in your mind here whenever you are saying something, whenever you are creating a presentation. The text that you add, all the text, all the information that is in textual form. Say, for example, whenever you are attending any classes, the teachers that the presentation that is used by the teachers. See, even if I talk about myself, when I am giving any presentation and when it is in textual form, you can hardly remember the text as it is, isn't it? Of course, you have understood. Of course, you can write it in your own words. But when I talk about exact information that is presented in the text, very tough to remember and recall, isn't it? So, there was a psychologist who had studied about the body language, and then he had said that it is only 7% of the text that can be recalled even by the great concentrated audience. So, for example, even if you are concentrating, even if you are listening to my classes, attending all the sessions without a break, still, when I ask about the text, only 7% could be recalled. And when I talk about voice, you can remember the information that is shared by the teacher, by the speaker, or by any other person, whosoever is speaking, to up to 38%. If any information is delivered in the form of voice, in the form of a speech, or where it is in the audio form, 38% of the information. Say, for example, if there are 100 words, you can remember only 38. When I talk about text, if there are 100 words, you will remember only 7. If I'm talking about voice, accordingly, 38%. But you will be surprised to see that whenever we talk about visuals, it is 55%. And that is the reason why whenever you are watching any video, whenever you are watching any movie, whenever you are watching anything which is in pictorial form, you can remember it for a longer period of time. So, for example, you might have clicked a photo of yours when you were in class 4th and 5th. But still, even today, if somebody shows you that picture, you will immediately recall. You will say that this is the picture that is clicked at so and so place during this particular time. I was in so and so class. Why? Because visually, the things that we are watching or that we are seeing visually can be retained in our memory up to 55%. All right. So that is the reason whenever we talk about presentation skills, whenever you are going to present any information, try to add more pictures and less of text. So keep this in your mind. Now, let me see how many of you could really understand. Now, a person whosoever is speaking, when he or she speaks, as you can see, only 7% could be regained. A person whosoever is speaking with the voice that is stated or informed or instructed or ordered or said, the information that is shared through audio or through the voice, we can recall 38% and visuals 55%. Now, when we talk about any information that we want to share, now, if I want to have this particular presentation, all right, you can see that the information that I have shared right now in front of you all is in what way? can I get the information? Can I get the can we have a small interactive session wherein we can discuss about the slide that you are watching right now? What is it that you are seeing? Are you seeing words? Are you seeing pictures, images, or what? Quickly. Yes. What is it that you can see on the slide? A graph. Very good, Pintu. Thank you, Aradhna. Yes, there are a couple of graphs. All right. Okay. It's a bar graph. Very good. Yes, it's a visual. It's a bar graph. Now you can see that there are two different graphs, isn't it? You can see that there are two different graphs. Now there is point one which says that whenever you are using any visual aid, all right. Do you understand what are visual aids? Do you know what are visual aids? Can I get the answer in the chat box? Oh, I could get answer only from two, Pintu and Tanya. Thank you, Shantanu, for giving me the response. So let me explain first. Whenever we talk about, very good, Abhishek Kumar Rajat, yes, whenever we are using any pictures in order to explain the information with others, that is called a visual. Say, for example, you are using a photo in order to explain others about that particular incident or accident or any kind of event that had happened in your life, or probably a picture that is clicked by you. So keep this in your mind that whenever we can see the things visually, that is, the information that is given is in the form of pictures. Now, even text can be a visual. All right. Say, for example, right now, the teachers, whenever we are explaining, we again use slides and you are watching them, you are seeing them, isn't it? You are watching the videos and you are seeing the slides. Now, when you are watching and seeing these, do you remember all the information? Be very honest. Do you remember all the information that is shared by all the teachers? No, absolutely correct. Yes, Tanya. Thanks for being very honest. Good, dear. Why you can't remember all the information that is shared by the teachers? It's not only Tanya. In fact, it is all. Even if I talk about me, I may not be able to remember everything. Why? Why is it so? No answer from your side? Why can't you remember the things that are shared by either the teachers or the different information that are shared by the different people? Because most of the time, the teachers, when they are sharing their slides, it is in textual form. Yes? Probably that is the answer. It is in textual form. Most of the information that are shared by the teachers, they are in text. And how much percentage of the text can be recalled and remembered by us? Can I get that percentage? Very good, Tanya Vatsula. Thank you, Aradhana. Yes, it is 7. Rightly stated, Pintu. Good, Karthik. Yes, it is 7%. And you can remember what she or he had taught you, isn't it, Aditya? Yes, Amrita. Rightly stated by everyone that, but still you can remember what the teachers are explaining, isn't it? Because of their voice, whatever they are explaining, you can remember that. And how much percentage of that auditory information is there stored in your mind? To what percentage? Very good, Pintu. This time you were the first. Very good, Girdhar. Rightly stated here, 38%. But what about the pictures? What about the pictures? Very good, Pintu. Excellent. It is 55%, right? So we should all remember that whenever in future you are going to give any presentation, what will be in less quantity and what will be in more quantity? What is it that you will be reducing and what is it that you are going to include more? Of course, your audio will be there because without explanation, there is no point of giving presentation, isn't it? So audio, that is 38%, will be there. But what about the impact? Would you like to have more of 75, more of 55 and less of 7, or more of 7 and less of 55? Yes? What should be more and what should be less? Excellent, Pinto. Less of text and more of visuals. Now, what do we understand by visual? Visual could be a table, visual could be a chart, visual could be a graph, visual could be pictures. So, Pinto, could you understand here? Whenever we are talking about visual, visuals will help us to identify that particular situation, either in the form of a table, either in the form of charts, either in the form of graph, either in the form of pictures, and then you can identify and correlate the information with with the audio that is stated, with the presentation that is given by the presenter, and then you can understand the concepts clearly. All right, so please remember, whenever we are talking about the visuals, please identify the importance of visual. And when we talk about visuals, you should be very careful, because many a times I have seen students, they just copy and paste the images from the Google. That is again wrong. You have to check whether the visual is free of copyright or not. Do you all know what is free of copyright? Do you know what is copyright? Now, all the information that is there belongs to some human being, isn't it? It is the property of somebody else. Now, you should take the permission before using it. So, therefore, you can find it out whether it is free to use or you have to pay for it. If you have to pay for it and if you think that it is a good deal, you can pay for it. But in case if you are looking for free images, you can search for that. So please remember, whenever you are presenting any information, the pictures matters a lot. The tables, graph, charts, these matters a lot. And you can see here, the slide very clearly states that if you're talking about any visual, if you are talking about any visuals, visuals can be regained, can be restored, can be stored in our mind up to 50%. Whereas whenever we talk about the bullet points, the text, as I have stated, it is only 10% of the memory that will have it, and the retention would be only for 3 days. Please remember, it would be retained. Say, for example, if today I'm taking the class on visual aids, particularly that you have to use for, when I'm talking about the presentation, if I talk more in text and less in visuals, you will see that 10% of the complete information, after 3 days, you can recall only 10% of the information that I have shared. But if I am trying to explain it with the help of the visuals, then 50% of the information can be regained, can be retained by you even after 3 days. All right. And that is the reason why, even when we talk about the objective, whenever we are talking about the objectives, we should remember it is through bullet points we can achieve 33%. And whereas when we talk about the visual slides, it is 67%. All right. So keep these things in your mind, that when we have to present any presentation, because very soon you people will be asked to present, lot many presentations will be there with you all, wherein you will be preparing, you are going to present in front of your teachers are going to mark it and give you the marking based on your presentation. So when you're doing that, please remember, less of text, more of visuals. Less of text, because whenever you are preparing any text, you will see that we have the habit of reading it. Am I right or wrong? Whenever you are preparing any presentation and there is a slide in which you have written lots of information, what is it that we do? Either we try to by heart the information, right? Or we try to read the slide. But when you are reading the slide, can you make an eye contact with the audience? Yes or no? Can you make an eye contact when you're reading the slides that you are trying to present in front of the audience? You can do only one thing, isn't it? Either you can create or generate eye contact with the audience, or you will watch or look into the slides. You are going to read the slide for your audience. So please remember, reading slides is a bad habit. Is not acceptable at all, particularly when we are giving the presentation. The presentation, the slides that you are preparing is meant for the audience. Let me once again repeat, the slides that you are preparing The information that you are sharing with the audience is meant for the audience, not for you. It is you who has prepared the presentation. So you should know about the presentation from top to bottom. You have to have a proper understanding about each and every slide. You should be able to remember all the slides that you are presenting or that you are going to present. And you should not turn back and you should not look into the slide and then you should not read it. Of course, you can look into the slide, but not for reading, but to show, but to highlight, but to present the information right in front of the audience. So could you all understand? If you have to prepare, that is the reason whenever we were talking about presentation, presentation means what you are going to speak in front of the audience. Can we speak without any tools and aids? Of course, we can speak without any tools and aids. Do you remember extempore? Do you remember impromptu? Do you remember the role plays that we have discussed? Yes. Quickly in the chat box, how many of you can recall impromptu, extempore? Tanya says yes. Ankit Aditya says yes. Ananta says yes. Okay. So what is the difference between impromptu and extempore? All right. Let me ask it in this way. Without any time or without any liberty of preparing, what is it that you have to speak? Is it extempore or impromptu? No time given to preparation. No time given to prepare and to present in front of the audience. What kind of speech would it be? Aradhana, it's not extempore, dear. Rituraj Ranjan, again, you're wrong. It's not extempore. It is impromptu. Impromptu. The word itself says prompt. Prompt means instantly. All right. It's not. Please remember impromptu. All right. So this shows. This has proven that you people are not revising. You people are not even bothered of doing any kind of revision. Again, this is not the way the management students must think of taking up the exams. You have to keep revising the information. You have to keep reading the text that is shared with you all. So it is impromptu. Of course, when the time is given to prepare, and then you come and stand in front of the audience to present your opinion or where you are going to speak about it, that is called as extempore. All right. So please remember, whenever we are talking about impromptu, extempore, what are we talking about? We are talking about presentation skills. All right. How many of you know about this word, group discussion? At least you must have heard about it, right? Though you might not have participated, very few of you might have definitely participated, because in many schools, their teachers, they divide the class into two groups and then they give argumentative topics wherein people or students, they can speak about their opinion, right? So group discussions, whenever we are talking about group discussion, again, you are speaking your opinion, you're presenting your opinion. That is again presentation skills. So please remember, if somebody says, what about your presentation skill? You should not focus it on PPT. Of course, you can present the presentation with the help of tools, with the help of aids. Without aids, without tools, yes, you can still prepare and you can present the presentation. Presentation means speaking in front of audience. How can we speak in front of audience? By using certain tools, by using certain aids. Yes, it is possible. What is the tool? What is the aid that we use? In general, it is PowerPoint. And so the teachers which we are using these days in order to connect with our student is the PowerPoint, right? And that is what we display it on the screen so that we can hook you up, we can connect with you, and you can understand it in a easy way. You can get connected with what the teacher is trying to explain, right? So keep this in your mind that whenever we are talking about the PowerPoint presentation, there can be certain tools, and in that tool, you should remember all the important things that are being told over here. Say, for example, text, minimize the text because people can regain and recall only 7% of it. Your voice should be clear. You have to develop a proper eye contact while you are presenting your presentation. And visuals can do miracle because 55% of the information that you're sharing with your audience in the form of visuals or in the form of pictures or in the form of graph charts and all can be recalled and remembered by the audience. So this is very, very important, and you people have to really emphasize onto this. All right. So moving ahead, whenever we are talking about the visual aids, these are the basic information that you all must keep in your mind. Please remember visual aids will support in order to present your ideas. Why visual aids are so important? Because that will help you to connect with your audience and to present your information, the information that is there in your mind, the thought that is there in your mind, the idea that is there in your mind. If you really want to connect it with the audience, that is again going to be delivered with the help of visuals in a proper way. Whenever you are talking about visuals, the number of slides will reduce. You can present your thought and you can present your idea in a very clear cut manner, because there won't be text. When there is a text, people will start reading it. As an audience, they will also read, and as a presentator, even you are going to read. So there will be a gap between you and the audience. But whenever there is a visual, though people are looking onto your slide, but their focus would be completely on your voice, what you are saying, what you are delivering. So there won't be any break between you and the audience. That is going to hook, that is going to anchor the thoughts and the contact of the audience with your presentation. Please remember, even the toughest and the complex ideas can be very easily presented. Very easily you can visualize the information and you can share it. How many of you remember the concept of the concept which was told and taught to you people during your class 6th, I believe, in science, which talks about water cycle? Do you remember the information that was shared by your teacher related to water cycle? Yes? Do you all recall what water cycle is? What is water cycle? Can you at least write 4 5 words which happens? Do you remember the 2 words? Condensation and evaporation? Yes. Condensation and evaporation. Sunlight falling on water. Water gets evaporated because of the heat of the sunlight, because of the hot rays of the sunlight, and then it evaporates, and then it forms the cloud. And in the cloud, because of the humidity, or because of the water that is there, because of the cold environment. So what happens within the cloud? It again falls down in the form of rain, that is the precipitation. So condensation, evaporation, water from the oceans and rivers, they form the clouds, and again from the cloud they fall down in the form of water droplets, that is called as precipitation, and then raindrops, or could be snow or hail or fog. In different ways it's fall down. So, do you still remember the picture that you people have drawn? Why could you remember and recall it even after these many number of years? Because it was pictography. All right. So keep this in your mind that you people have practiced a lot. That is the reason why in biology, in order to make you people understand even the toughest and the complex ideas in a simpler way, the diagrams are there. Even when I talk about chemistry, you people must have drawn the different diagrams. When I talk about physics, you must have drawn the different diagrams, particularly related to circuit. Do you remember the drawing of circuit? Electrical circuit that you people must have drawn, switch off, switch on, how this circuit is going to function. Yes? In case if you can recall, you will see that it is only because of the picture. It's not the information that is there in your mind. When I am saying right now, you can recall those circuit. Ohm's law, you must have written OHM, and then one line open up, isn't it? The arrows were drawn. So what are these? These are part of our visual learning. All right. Similarly, your teachers must have shown you certain movies. Teachers might have shown you certain videos. All these videos and movies were part of your visual learning. So keep this in your mind, the complex ideas and the toughest concepts. If you really want to create or generate right impact in the mind of audience, what can we do? We can create or we can develop the visuals of it, and then we can present in front of the audience. With the help of visuals, with the help of such presentation, we can connect with our audience in a right way. Please remember, whenever we are talking about presentation, particularly the PowerPoint presentations, as this will be used by you all, every one of you, even the students of BBA and BCA, each one of you is going to use it in your day-to-day life. Always remember, your non-verbal, that is your body language, matters a lot. This is for the third time that I'm emphasizing on these points. Eye contact matters a lot. Gesture, the actions that you do with your hands, dear, that is called as gesture. Your gesture matters a lot. The way you are standing, the way you are going to move, that is again your body language, the posture matters a lot. Too fast movement will again distract the audience. Standing only at one position, still it will distract the audience. So you should know when to move, how to move, how to attract the audience, how to louden your voice. Say, for example, whenever you are speaking, and when you see there is it's a slight disturbance among the audience, you may have to loud your voice. And when you see that everybody is paying attention to you, you can mellow down your voice. You can come back to your original pitch, and then you can present. You can sensitize people. Do you remember the speeches which are given by Sandeep Maheshwari sir? How many of you are fond of listening to him? Or how many of you are fond of listening to Vivek Bindra? Quickly in the chat box. Do you like Sandeep Maheshwari or Vivek Bindra? If you have heard Sandeep Maheshwari, write SM quickly. SM. So Sandeep Kumar says Sandeep Maheshwari, he likes his video. Yes, every one of us, right? So when we watch such videos, what do we feel? We feel excited, isn't it? Even when he's speaking very softly, we still get connected to him, right? And why is this happening? Because of the body language, because of the tonality of the voice, because of the volume that he or she is using, right? So Amit Raj demotivated. Why, dear? What's wrong with you? Okay, so if you get demotivated by him, instead of listening to him, you listen to yourself. You are the best motivator of your own life. So don't ever listen to him then. If you really want to encourage yourself, if you really want to cheer up yourself, Amit, start listening to Amit. All right, that is the best way to encourage and motivate yourself. You are such a sweetheart, you can do miracle. You have to just remember that I am a human being. I'm born with wonderful skills, wonderful thoughts, wonderful ideas. What I need to do is I have to channelize my thoughts, actions in a right way so that I can really do wonderful thing on this earth. And I want you to do that, dear. All right. So please, Amit, work out onto that. And for being a good person on this earth, and if you really want to attract the audience, focus on your presentation skill, because with your good presentation skill you can definitely attract lot many people. So and then what are the things that you have to remember? Eye contact, gesture, posture, and movement. Also remember time limit. If we are given too lengthy speech, how many of you have heard your principal, ma'am and sir, talking or delivering speech or speeches on 15th August and 26th January, on Republic Day, on Teachers' Day? Tanya, you were you absconding on those days, dear? You did not attend any of such events that had happened in your school? When they start, they don't have a full stop to their speech at many places. I'm not talking about all, I'm talking about a few. When they start, they continue for hours and hours. Students, they keep standing for 30 minutes, for 40 minutes, for 50 minutes, and then they go on speaking without taking into consideration who the audience are, isn't it? Yes, after 5 minutes we get distracted. I agree. So therefore, whenever we talk about attending, we listen to them. When we listen to these kind of speeches, what happens? Initially, we are very enthusiastic, but later on, we get distracted. So keep this in your mind as you were the audience, how you got distracted. Similarly, your audience may also get distracted. How to avoid the distraction? You should limit your speech. All right, dear. Limit your speech. Speak only for 5 minutes, but speak very in a very right way. Remember the technique, Ida: attention, interest, desire, action. So give very fruitful information. Make the people sit comfortably. Say, for example, when you are sitting very comfortably in cinema theaters and you are watching a movie, how long can you sit even without a break? If there is a movie without any break, can you sit for 2 to 3 hours without moving, without getting up from that particular seat? Yes, we can till the end, isn't it? It should be interesting one, right? Of course, it has to be an interesting one. So yes, we all can sit for hour or two, unless and until it is not interesting. If it is interesting, we can. So we have to have a good, comfortable position to sit. We should be we must have that good voice to hear, isn't it? If the voice is breaking time and again, you may get disinterested and distracted. So keep this in your mind, dear. Time limit matters a lot. Controlling the group matters a lot. So therefore, don't argue while you are presenting anything. Try to bring in and develop good relationship with your audience. Don't make people shut up. Let them speak. Let them give their thoughts and ideas. And also overdosing information. Oh my God, this is again the toughest one to manage. We believe we have given like we were given the opportunity of presenting this particular information, so we go on speaking and speaking and speaking, right? So because of this, what happened? We feel that, oh my, if I speak for an hour, I'll be considered as the best. No, even if you're speaking for 5 or 10 minutes, and if you deliver all the necessary information in just 5 to 10 minutes, your work is done, your job is done. So instead of speaking for an hour and then delivering useless information, you better speak for only 5 minutes and share all the relevant information. That matters a lot. So please remember, that can happen only when you know how to plan your speech, how to rehearse, how to practice, how to present. All right. And remember, if you're presenting any text in your slide, the thumb rule is 7 into 7. That means 7 bullet points and 7 words. I'm not talking about the preposition or the articles. I'm talking about the keywords here. The main major words. If there are major words, it should not be more than 7 in one bullet. So keep this in your mind whenever you are presenting any information. Try to use more of pictures. Try to connect and relate your audience with the images so that they can create their own idea, they can create their own thought, they can connect with you in a right way. All right. And finally, when you are finishing your presentation, it is very important to handle the questions in a proper way. Many a times when you are asking question, people say later on. That is wrong. Absolutely wrong. You should always be prepared that there will be certain people who are going to ask you question. In case if you don't know the answer, say it in a very humble way. I'm sorry, I do not have the answer for this question right now. Can you share your email or can you give me your contact number? We can discuss on this particular question later, or I will get back to you later. Instead of showing arrogance, instead of showing the harsh behavior, you better be polite, you better be humble. Try to answer as many questions as you can. If people are asking questions, that means they were very much interested. They liked your presentation, and that is the reason why they are asking questions. Many a times they may ask you repetitive question. You should not be bored at that time. You should not show your dejection. You should not say that, what is this? I've already answered and again you are asking me the same question. No, have patience. Remember that the audience are the one who are going to learn from you, seek information, act as your client. So therefore, if you are answering those questions, please answer it in a polite way. If you do not know any of the questions answered, ask him or her to give you some time so that you can prepare and then you can come back. You can come back in 2 ways here. You can ask them to give their contact number or their email ID. All right. There is nothing which is called as dumb question. And then this I keep on telling to all the students when they are attending any seminar or conferences. They're so scared of asking question. They believe that if I ask a question, it is going to stretch the time. No, it's bad. If you're not asking question, this shows that you are not at all interested and keen. In order to show your keenness, in order to show that you got connected, at least share your feedback or ask relevant question. What do we understand by relevant question? Your doubts are all relevant. There is nothing which is called as dumb question. Anything which you could not understand, that is the reason why you are asking a question. Hence, don't hesitate in asking question. Love to answer all the questions and answers. The day when you're going to do that, what is going to happen? People would love to hear to you. And this is the final slide, and I want everybody to focus on this particular slide. Please remember, your presentation is to share knowledge. And that knowledge you can share only when you are knowledgeable, when you have practiced very well, when you have prepared very well. And you know if you can do that. Say, for example, when you are having knowledge, when you have prepared very well, when you have practiced very well, Even the day when you are giving the presentation, you will be relaxed, you will be calm, you will be more happy to share the information that is there with you. You will be amazed to know about yourself. All right. Please remember, if you really want to impress your audience, if you really want to win the heart of audience, have cool mind, great attitude, and always be a learner. Always like to learn from the audience. All right. That's all in today's class related to presentation skill. What I want you to do is please watch certain TED Talk. Have you heard anyone giving a TED Talk? Probably you must have heard Shah Rukh Khan giving or presenting his TED Talk, right? These days, there is a young girl, I believe she is just 10 or 12, who had presented her TED Talk, and that is in height. So please watch certain TED Talks because that is going to help you all. What I'll do is I'll share 3 or 4 links of the TED Talk today. All right, watch them, listen to the speakers, and see how they are presenting. You will be amazed to know that when you give a good presentation, you will be very happy. So that can be done by everyone only when we prepare, practice, present. And for that, planning is very important. So the key rule: plan, prepare, practice, and present. And how you are going to do that? With good communication, great confidence, and wonderful knowledge level. All right. Thank you very much for attending today's class. Let me share the link for your attendance so that you people can mark your attendance and then say tata and goodbye to me. Here is the link for marking your attendance. Do take care of yourself and have a wonderful day ahead. And happy weekend. Keep